Hi there, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, I'm Sympathy, and I use this channel to create awareness around cancer and disability based on my personal experience. If you're interested, I have made 2 videos about my journey. You can check that out in my channel. First things first, I'm sorry about the lighting today. I had to keep my curtain closed because it's really sunny outside and it's really hot. So everything looks a little bit shadowy. I hope you don't mind. So today I wanted to talk about sympathy and empathy, and by learning the difference between the two, we can see beyond a disability. So what is the difference between sympathy and empathy? Sympathy is when you feel sorrow or pity for someone's misfortune, and it can look like this. Oh no, you poor thing. I'm so sorry. But when you're on the receiving end, you might think, is he actually pitying me? I just wanted to be understood. This kind of response can create a distance instead of building a connection. Empathy, on the other hand, is the ability to understand and share someone's feelings. And it can sound like this. Hey, you seem upset. Do you want to talk about it? I'm here for you. And the person hearing that feels safe, seen, and accepted for what they just shared. Empathy invites connection. It creates a safe space to open up. Sympathy isn't a bad thing. It's human and often well intentioned, but it usually stays on the surface. Empathy goes deeper. It's about truly understanding and connecting with someone's experience. As someone living with a disability, I felt more seen and supported when people meet me with empathy. It creates a safe space, and that makes all the difference. So, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because, as a disabled person, people have approached me with both sympathy and empathy. And I've noticed when, people approach me with sympathy, it often feels like, they pity me and like my whole life is tragic and I am like kind of like a victim. And, those really ugly feelings about one doesn't want to have about themselves. And I feel like I'm small and like everything about me is my disability. But when people approach me with empathy and when they actually try to understand without feeling sorry for me, it kind of creates this safe space where I can like communicate better and have like this very genuine connection with this person who is trying to have a conversation with me. And I feel respected and I feel like they see beyond my disability and my hardships, and I actually find it very comforting. So when I thought of making this video, this one incident popped into my head. It's from a reality show in Sri Lanka, where contestants come and sing and they get selected after going through a blind audition. This is one gentleman who came to that show to perform, and usually the judges don't see the contestant during blind auditions. They would only turn around if they think that they could go to the next round, right? So during this whole performance, the judges didn't see him, and eventually he didn't get selected to the next round. And usually this is when the judges would like turn around and give comments on what could be improved, and what kind of things that they can try next time when if they decide to compete again. When the judges turned around, saw that this person was disabled, some of the judges started to get very emotional on camera, shedding tears and saying things like, "Oh, poor thing, like Ane Pau." They just started to feel really, really sorry for this person because of his disability. I mean, there were so many other contestants who go through blind auditions, doesn't get selected. Usually they don't cry for everyone like that, but they cried for this one person because he was disabled. that didn't sit right with me. I felt a little uncomfortable seeing this. I mean, imagine like you go in front of a crowd to, you know, show your talents, and instead of like, you know, paying attention to your performance and, you know, maybe commenting on what you can improve, they just start to like cry or feel sad about how you look. I feel like it's very shallow. I mean, no hate to anyone. I am not trying to like create a negative image about anyone, but I feel like, you know, of course their sadness might be coming from a good place. That's why I'm saying like sometimes you need to recognize your feelings before you express yourself. So approaching them with like, you know, with tears and, you know, these sad feelings, like, you know, like clutching your heart, like oh my gosh, like, oh poor thing, you know, saying stuff like that makes the disabled person or whoever a little bit uncomfortable. Okay, let's finish the story. So in the end, yes, the judges you know, give him the feedback he needs. Like they tell him what to improve and what to do. Of course the focus changed a little bit by the end of the show, but I feel like, you know, maybe, you know, they should have edited the whole thing a little bit better, because this was telecasted on national TV and the video is still up in YouTube, and I don't think that's kind of an image that we want to, you know, give to anyone, that how this is how we see disabilities. I don't think that's good. So yeah, two things about this. First thing, let's generalize the situation. Like, let's, you know, get rid of the word disability and generalize the situation. And, you know, I'm just gonna try to make you see how you would feel if this happened to you. Okay, so we all get pimples in our face, right? We always get them. Imagine that you get like a huge pimple on your cheek. It's huge, massive, and maybe you try to like squeeze it and now it's like a huge red blob on your face. Okay, so imagine that you woke up with this huge pimple and you have a full day of work ahead of you, maybe work, school, or uni, or whatever that you're going to do. So what do? Do you stay in bed just because you have a pimple? I mean, I don't think so. So you would probably get ready, try to cover it up if you can, or if not, you would just go ahead because it's just a pimple. It's not a problem, right? So you go out and, you know, you start seeing like people would stare at you, like, you know, they would like give you stares on my, like, oh my gosh, did you see the pimple in her face? Like, oh, so bad. Oh, you poor thing. And maybe you're waiting for a bus or a train and they would be like, oh my gosh, you poor thing, how do you cope with it? Oh my gosh, how sad. And you'll be like, what? It's just a pimple. And kind of start to get tired because, you know, you get these stares and everybody's feeling sorry for you around you. And finally you get to work, and let's say that you have this huge presentation that day, very important, and you know that you are so ready for it, like you have got everything, you know, tip top, and you know you are going to nail it. And so you go into the room and you do the presentation really well, you know you nailed it, and you're ready for the compliments, and you know that maybe someone might make some remarks, and you're ready to like any kind of constructive criticism, and you're just waiting for like the comments, you know, on the presentation. Instead, everyone in the room is just staring at you. Someone is, you know, like weeping tears, and someone is feeling very sad, you know, someone is saying like, oh poor thing. You think to yourself, why? And, you know, someone says, how do you cope with it? I'm really sorry, it's so sad, like, you poor thing. Oh, I'm so sorry. And, you know, people start to like, you know, talk about your pimple instead of like talking about the big presentation that you just did. And they spend so much time on, like, trying to make you feel better, maybe saying this and that about the pimple, instead of, like, let's talk about the presentation. I'm here to talk about the presentation, not about the pimple. And then you get few comments about your presentation, and you just feel like, wait, did this just become just about my appearance? And then you go home, maybe you go to bed, and then you wake up the next day, you still have the pimple, and you think to yourself, are you ready to go through that all over again? So I want you to, like, take a second and think about it. Like, this is a very generalized thing that I just said. I mean, it could happen to, like, anyone. How do you feel, like, if everyone around you just focused on your pimple instead of anything else you do, like literally anything else? What would that make you feel like? So I just want you to, like, think about it for a second. Maybe pause the video and think about it. All right, so the second thing, so the whole reality show thing that was telecasted in national TV, so this was seen by many people, and probably by so many young people. Why I emphasize young people is because they are literally the next generation. And if this is the kind of message that we are going to give to the younger generation, are we really going forward as a country? This is 2025. Maybe that video was from last year, so 2024. Is this really where we want to be as a country? Are we really going to stigmatize disabilities? Create this whole narrative around it, saying that disabilities are tragic, these people are pitied, it's sad. Are we going to create that narrative? Or are we going to create a space where, disabled people can, do their day-to-day things just like, any other person would do? It's up to us to create that space. That's why I'm making this video. Maybe instead of, like, sympathizing over disabilities, we should approach it with empathy, where we actually try to make a connection with this person and genuinely try to find a connection, make a safe space for them, and try to help them. Or if they don't want any help, that's fine as well. Like, sometimes not everybody wants to be helped, and you have to respect that as well. That's why I say, like, try to find a connection, see if they want help, and offer the help they need, not what you think they need. That is very important. I was really blessed when I shared my previous videos. So many people approached to me and really tried to connect with me, and asked what they can do for help. And I'm genuinely grateful for all of you. I'm just gonna leave this video with, like, for something for you to think about. Just think about the pimple scenario. Just take a moment and think about it. And what if you can't get rid of the pimple for a long time? What if you're stuck with it? And what would you change about yourself if you see someone with a pimple like that? Just think about those things. At the end of the day, we all just wanted to be understood, not to be pitied, not to be judged, just understood. And disabilities don't erase our dreams, our talents, or who we are on the inside. We are still whole, still capable, and still human. If there's one thing I hope this video leaves with you, it's this. When you meet someone with a disability, start with empathy. It's not always about fixing and helping. Sometimes it's about seeing beyond their disability. Thank you for listening, and thank you for feeling with me. I hope you have a great day. Bye.